Brago.
Sigh.
How's it going, man?
Say it like a Pokemon. I'm good, man.
Yeah, I try to get more and more raspy every time we do this. Eventually, it's going to divulge into just like gobbledygook. It's going to be incoherent after like a year or two. But either way, One Piece 1151 is around the corner. You don't read spoilers, so we're not going to spoil anything in this video, by the way. But Domi Reversi is a thing. We saw last chapter that Emu is able to turn people bad, turn them into their black versions. And now I'm just wondering, Brago, we're going to toss reasoning outside the window. We're not going to think about, oh, like, how do they negate it? Can this person not get turned? Can that person not get turned? We're tossing that out the window. And I just want to ask you, who would you want to get turned into Emu's disciples, Emu's apostles, Emu's god hand? Who would you want to see turned black?
Like from my family?
No, like just pirates, pirates, Marines even, characters in the world of One Piece. Like, because personally, I'm going to drop it right here. I would love to see a Domi Reversi Saint Charlos. Hey, people have been joking. Like, Charlos has the craziest durability known to mankind. He's surviving hit after hit after hit. How is he doing? He's just a regular guy. He's a snot-nosed baboon. But you take that snot-nosed loser and you turn him into a demon? Could Charlos be top 10? I don't know, man. That is the word on the block. And I would love to hear your thoughts on that. And I would love to hear who you would want to turn into a demon.
Charlos being top 10 after being turned into a demon is interesting. Listen, insane durability, right? He's gotten clobbered by some of the strongest, and he's still standing, right? Still kicking. Him with the Domi Reversi, he's formidable. Top 10, we got to think about it. But somebody I would like to get turned just for the fun of it, and I think would amplify his personality. Dofi.
Ooh, that's funny enough. I feel like Dofi would really want it. Maybe not the Dofi of today, but the Dofi of like the past, right? The Dofi that wanted to be a celestial dragon. Ooh, that's like a wet dream, brother.
Yeah. So, who else? Green Bull.
Oh, dude, all the Admirals, right?
Green Bull, but Green Bull especially.
Wait, why Green Bull especially?
He loves the celestial dragons, man.
Oh, you're right. He's like the #1 Celestial Dragon fanboy, man. Maybe that's why he's working so hard. Like, what if Green Bull knows about this and he's like, dude, if I just put in those numbers, I'm gonna get turned into a demon.
I'll become a God Knight, man. I'll be the commander of the God Knights, be immortal. So yeah,
that's a pretty good incentive, to be honest. Like being immortal. It's not bad. It's not bad.
I think it's cool if everybody around me is immortal. Like all my friends.
Friends and family, yeah.
Friends and family, because it's like, if you're just immortal, then it's Age of Adeline,
Age of Adeline, Twilight with Edward and Bella. Yeah. Before she gets turned into a vampire, spoiler alert.
Wow. Spoiling Twilight.
It'd be tough, bro. Spoiling Twilight. How do we always get back to Twilight?
You just love Twilight, it's fine.
No, you like it too, don't even. We do this all the time. What about Koby?
Oh, no.
Wait, what? What do you mean, no?
That'd be tragic. That'd be tragic.
But wouldn't that be so great? It's because Koby has such a strong and pure sense of justice. Right. I think that's why turning him would be so fun.
I don't want to ruin him and tarnish him like that.
No, but what if Kobe's the one demon that fights back a little bit? He's like, I can't do this. They're innocent people.
So he's like Naruto, and he kind of controls it within him, and then he has like a form, like a Biju mode.
Maybe. I mean, that would be a weird but good way to power him up, though, right?
Funny enough.
Koby is not a hitter, bro. Like, Koby in that panel with the other characters about obtaining the One Piece, he was kind of out of place, but.
Well, have you seen the Honesty Impact?
Okay, Honesty Impact was like a one-time final move. He can't just whip that out left and right, though, right?
So say you.
I don't know, man.
Give him 2 days.
2 days?
I mean, with Kobe's growth, 2 days is all he needs, man. And he's 10 of them one day. I mean, considering who was on that panel, Kobe does like stand out. But Oda's setting it up, man. Oda's setting up. If he gets turned through Domi Reversi, it would suck. Considering like all the promise and hope. No. What about Rayleigh? Now you can truly become the Dark King.
That'd be kind of fun. I mean, we don't know what's up with the Roger Pirates. Have you seen the Roger disses online? People saying Roger was ducking the Emu fight. The Roger Pirates didn't want that smoke. You know, Roger never wanted to go to the Holy Land. Like, what do you think about all that?
I don't know. Like, what do you want a sick man to do? It's kind of like, yeah, maybe Roger didn't want to go, but he realized the limitations that he had and the journey that was ahead. He's like, I can't. I don't, there's not much I have left that I can do here. Because this is not, maybe it's a plan that's not, it's like, I can't get this done in a year and I'm already sick.
Yeah.
And so the best thing I can do is create more candidates to make this possible. So let me just go have a kid.
And then die. And then that kid dies. Kind of sad, man. I feel bad for Roger, dude. Like, his one son is dead. The kid he thought that was going to be king of the pirates, he's gone, bro. Like, I mean, I guess there's Luffy and Samba that carry on the will, but the Gold D line it's gone. The Portgas line is gone. Unless there's like another sibling out there, like a half kid.
But yeah, but I think the will of Ace carries on with like you said with Sabo and Luffy, and that's part of what drives him too, And
yeah.
Luffy wouldn't be how he is without, Ace being in his life, So I think in a way it's kind of like, the will of fire, just
being passed down.
Just being passed down, And so I think ultimately it sucks that, Roger, his son, wasn't the one, but that'd be too cliche. Right? If like, oh, Roger has a son, and of course this guy is like the chosen. It was never gonna be that. It can't. So
yeah.
Maybe that was a hint after we found out Ace was the son of Roger. It was like, oh damn.
He's done.
He's cooked, chat. But he held out for a while. It's just the story was against him, and I think Ace also was kind of too good to stay alive. Like, he had too many things going for him. Great devil fruit, great personality. He was strong. He was charming. He had like basically a pirate crew just waiting for him to step into, be the leader of it. It's just like, bro, how can you justify like him not being the one that becomes the Pirate King?
He even had Conqueror's Haki as a kid too.
Conqueror's Haki as a kid, everything Luffy had, but I think he's even more charismatic than Luffy. So I think even like the Straw Hat said that in Alabasta. So.
Yeah. I think they said that about Sabo too, right? Like his brothers are all like really well mannered, and then there's Luffy.
So it's just easy to get rid of him, and I think it does a lot for Luffy as a character, and not just as a character, but also strength wise. You can justify it a lot.
Yeah.
Luffy got out of Marineford with Ace, like he's not training. She's like, I went, I did my thing, and I got out. Let's go to Fishman Island.
And then he'd get cooked by Hody.
Would he?
Pre-time skip Luffy, he loses to Hody Jones. Yeah. I mean, Luffy needed what? Gear third? With the hockey and everything? Like, remove the hockey from Luffy and Fishman Island, I don't think he's beating Hody Jones. And then even the Conqueror's Haki flex at the plaza too. Like, Luffy pre-time skip couldn't do that. He could do it, but it was like accidental, right? But when he went there to Fishman Island, he knocked out 50,000 fishmen right off rip. And then he used Haki. He had the Red Hawk. Like, remove all those abilities from Luffy. I don't think he's beating Hody Jones. They needed that time skip.
Maybe I don't think highly of Hody Jones or Fishman.
That's crazy. Your hatred for Jimbe has turned into hatred for the entire Fishman race.
I'm joking. I love Praline.
Charlie, too. Don't forget Charlia. Arlong's sister.
Oh, Madam Shirley?
Yeah. Wait. Okay. Wait. Since Arlong and Jimbe are brothers, wouldn't that also make Charlie Jimbe's sister?
Are they brothers?
Are they actually? Okay, I don't know. Are they actual brothers?
I know. Arlong and Charlie are like half siblings.
Yeah. Dude, these fishmen get around, man. I swear to God.
It's like, what's a hole to a fish?
Oh yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess him and Jimbe aren't like brothers. They're just brothers.
They're like sworn
yeah.
brothers.
They just grew up. They just grew up together. That's all it is.
If Jimbe happened to, slip into Charlie.
Dude, that's crazy, man. I'm looking up Arlong right now. There's no Jimbe category.
There's none?
No. Arlong Pirates, Sun Pirates, Marines, Kokoyashi, Nami, Koala, Charlie, Hody Jones. No Jimbe category. Damn.
I guess they didn't have that many interactions, but they had like some significant ones.
They fought, right? They fought for a little bit.
They let him go.
Yeah, but I mean, after Arlong, put the brakes on him.
That's what happened?
Yeah. Arlong was holding his own. What Arlong lacked in physical power against Jimbe, he won in mental capability.
Yeah, he kind of guilt tripped him.
Yeah, exactly.
Like this is what you Fisher Tiger. This is what he wanted, huh? Just using and disrespecting his will, disrespecting his legacy.
I looked up their relationships just as a refresher. It says while Jimbe and Arlong grew up together in an orphanage in the Fishman district, Jimbe went in as a soldier and showed hostility towards Arlong when he was harassing Fishman Island citizens, calling Arlong scum and even trash.
Ooh.
Wow. Damn. Kind of went in on that one, huh?
Jeez.
Despite this, though, Jimbe still cares for Arlong. There we go. That's a nice line.
I find it hard. I'd find it hard to believe if I call one of my siblings trash. They'd be like, he still cares for me.
I mean, that's kind of how it is, that's how brothers are. That's family, man, If your brother can't call you scum, who can?
Say you're scum? Ugh, that's a bit...
Yeah, I mean, they're calling you out for your actions.
That's a bit much. I don't know. I guess.
Do you think we'll see Arlong soon?
Funny enough, Arlong is older than I thought he was.
How old is he?
41.
Damn.
Yeah, I thought he was like a younger fishman. There's just like, Terra. He's an old bro. Grow up. I guess I grew with Jimbe.
He's in the same era, man. Like he's around the same age as like Crocodile, Dopey,
Shanks.
and all them. Shanks.
And he's
Shanks
acting
and
like
Arlong in the same sentence. That's kind of that's crazy to think about.
And he acts like a teenager. So
he just
Jimmy's
needed
only
to
5
mature.
years older.
Now that we've had the time skip, maybe next time we see Arlong, he's changed his ways. Maybe he loves humans. He's gonna have like a hockey bloom. Dude, I came up with a pretty cool theory, man. So how there's like a fire at Marie Joie right now? Now imagine if Arlong is a slave in the Holy Land and he puts out the fires. Just like how Jimbe, his brother, puts out fires on on Elbaf and Wano.
So he's the fishermen as firemen now? That's all they are?
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Just honorary firemen for the Celestial Dragons?
Imagine somebody says, Emu, if the Holy Land's on fire, why don't you do something? And he's like, don't worry. R.D. Long is there. He's going to put out the fires for us.
R.D. Long. Listen, if they have the fishermen and they're just using them as firemen to put out all the fires in Mary Joie, I'm sorry, Jimbe's cooked. Jimbe's cooked, and this is what Oda thinks of the fishermen, because that is crazy.
Yeah. There's nobody more racist than Oda himself for writing that in. That'd be so funny, man.
We saw Abdullah and Jeet.
We saw Jean Argo. Love Jean Argo, though. Great design, man. I wish he was still here.
We saw what Oda was doing, man. So.
Oh, dude.
This...
So, okay. How about this? What would you say if, this is another hot theory off the press, but since he's technically on the island, how'd you feel if Kid, Eustace Captain Kidd, got Domi reversied?
Oh, no, please, no.
And he became a demon. Ooh.
Okay, you know what? It'd give him some usefulness, but it would feel very temporary. And I feel like a situation where Oda's just like, now he's just playing with his dead body. Like, it's like a reanimation.
Wait. The people who destroyed Kid's ship, Dory and Brogy, they got turned into demons. They're officially bad guys right now. What if this is how Kid comes back? Kid comes back, and he gets revenge on Dory and Brogy for destroying the Punk Victoria. Could you see that? Whatever you're talking about, Loki's gonna fight Dory and Brogy, Zoro and Sanji are gonna do it. But what if it's Kid? Kid and Killer.
Here's how I feel about Kid. I feel like Kid is like a dog.
Oh my god.
That keeps limping. And everyone knows the dog should be put down. But he's just still fighting. Just still fighting, limping around. The leg is about to fall off, but it's still there, I think Kid needs to be put down.
This is crazy.
It's not going to get better.
This is like a weird mask off moment because I just remember, I think we've only been talking for like a couple of months at that point, but you were like, Sai, I'm out of town. I don't have my mic on me. Can you record this Captain Kidd video about how Kid's going to make a comeback and how he's not done yet? And I recorded that video for you and you put it on your channel. A video about Kid making a comeback. And now look at you today. Look in the mirror, Brago. What happened to you, man? Where's the Kid love?
Don't be reversing.
To be fair, was that before or after the Shanks chapter?
It was after, I think.
Oh, damn. See, so we had no meaningful Kid developments, and your opinion changed. How?
So here's the thing. I think I realize that Oda hates Kid. And that he's never going to give him anything significant enough to justify the pain he's been through. And I think for a lot of Kid fans, you'd rather him just stay away. It's like, think about your favorite character in the story. Like, imagine if Oda kept bringing back your favorite character over and over and over just to get shit on. Like, I love Vegeta, right? But holy shit, man. Every single time.
It still happens in the manga, too.
It's just like Vegeta just comes and it's like, oh, wow. Oh, he's better than No, he's not even close.
Dude.
It's always Goku's show, man. And Vegeta just gets shit on.
Vegeta learns new I'm not going to spoil a lot, by the way, but Vegeta learns new techniques in the manga. He gets a new form and it's like, whoa, he's going to be stronger than Goku. He's going to fight this villain. And it's the same thing. I mean, it's not even a spoiler. It's the same thing. Vegeta shows up. He looks cool for a couple of chapters. And then Goku shows up and he steals the spotlight.
Well, even in Daima, where...
You're right. Even in Daima, they didn't give Vegeta Super Saiyan 4. What are they doing?
Vegeta pulls up, but Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta was dope, right?
Fire.
Going crazy, was amazing. Doesn't complete the job. And then Goku just is like, I have something that I have. Da-da-da. Super Saiyan 4. And it's like, come on, man. Like, it's just the same thing. And I feel like Kid, he's in even a worse role than Vegeta, because at least Vegeta is one of the main characters.
Yeah.
Kid is like, he's not that. And so his is going to be even worse because he's not going to get as much screen time. And when he gets screen time, it's going to be like just leftovers. And it's not going to feel significant enough to justify it. And so for me, I would like for Kid to come back and like get some redemption. Here's the thing though. The tough part is that Kid is in a very difficult scenario where he is a fighter who got defeated by the same person badly twice. And so now you're coming back onto the scene. Everybody's like, well, you have to fight that person. You have to overcome that person. But then everybody already knows, well, you can't beat that person because that person is not the person that's meant for you to beat. So ultimately, you're going to have to live with those L's forever. You're never going to get your revenge unless you fight his kid.
Yeah. I mean, there's no way. I love Kid. There's no way he's beating Shanks. He's never going to get that revenge, man.
Never. And so with the L, imagine if Luffy, right, after Act 1, just gets obliterated by Kaido. And then at the end of Wano, like, Kid and Law beat Kaido. Or Kid, Law, and Zoro. You're going to be like, what the hell? Like, so Luffy never gets his revenge? It feels that way with Kid. Like, he's never going to get his revenge on Shanks. Everybody's going to always look at him like, all right, I know you're like a Pirate King candidate, but right here, beat your ass twice.
No. What if Kid is on his way to fight Shanks for a third time, and that's when Shanks, goes or dies or something, and then we could use the logic of like, oh, Kid would have won the third fight though. Kid was on his way to win. No, Oda, rip the victory away. Maybe it's one of those things.
I thought for the second fight, I was like, there's no way Oda's gonna have him lose again, right? He had him lose worse. So no.
I thought Kid was gonna lose when he pulled up on Elbaf, but in my head, I was imagining like Kid, boxing,
I thought a better
Kid showing up
exchange,
a little bit, yeah, something, or like Conqueror's Haki Awakening.
Where it's just
even.
like, oh dang, like Kid he has a chance here. No, like everybody got obliterated. Killer, hip hop, all of them.
Which is why I think, Kid has to get his comeuppance against Dory and Brogy. I mean, I'm looking at a picture of... No. Hey. I'm looking at a picture of Kid and Killer right now. Kid is Elbaf attire, decked out in red. Killer's in blue. I don't know, man. Red Ogre, Blue Ogre. Hey, the new red and blue has arrived. I mean, even Law was wearing blue, right? Remove Killer. Let's say Kid, the red caped crusader, goes against Brogy, the red ogre. Law goes against Dory. Maybe that's it.
It creates a very difficult perspective when you have Kid fighting against Dory and Brogy, because as mad as Kid is, he can't go too far, right? Like, because he can only go as far as to like try to turn him back, but he can't like obliterate them because it's like they're evil, but they're still Dory and Brogy.
No. But what if, because they regenerate, Kid can go all out? He's like, oh, like they won't die no matter what? All right. And then Kid, he fights Dory and Brogy for like 10 days and 10 nights, just killing them over and over and over.
You know what'd be dope though?
What's up?
If Kid had knowledge on how to hurt Dory and Brogy. He's like, oh, this is something we learned back in from South Blue.
Yeah, I think he's in the South Blue.
This is something we learned in the South Blue about magic and whatever. Like, my people taught it to me. I never thought it'd be useful.
That'd be crazy. If we get this from Kid.
We got it from Kid? I mean, it's not going to make him stronger than Luffy and Zoro, but like, it'd be like, okay. Usefulness?
Yeah,
he already knows this technique.
Hasn't shown us any Haki, but at least he knows this.
Well, we know he has Conqueror's Haki.
We know he has all the Haki. He's just never shown it.
He's just never shown it, really. So if he pulls that out, it'd be like, oh man, that's dope. And gives him some agency. I'm here for it.
Huh. So getting back to it, how do you feel about Blackbeard getting Domi reversied?
I think if that happens, it may be a Domi reversey.
Like Blackbeard has full control.
And then he kind of takes over Emu because there's a back where like you try to Domi reversey Blackbeard and all you do is Domi reverseys it back out of him.
Oh, because like, yeah, the will is is like kind of pretty much in Blackbeard. It's not confirmed, but I mean, he's essentially like the new age Roxy Zebek, right?
Yep. So like you try to do that, and that was all part of his plan for that attack to be used, and then boom, Zebek is freed. Because maybe Zebek got sealed that way.
Okay.
And all of a sudden it's like, but I don't see Blackbeard getting Domi reversed. No way. I see Blackbeard more so taking over Emu's spot than Emu getting rid of Blackbeard.
I think one of the prevailing theories, right, is that to not get Domi reversied, you either have to have Haki like we talked about on your video, or you might have to be a Will of D member, which Blackbeard is one.
Yep. So I don't see Blackbeard getting turned, or no. I feel like he's too important to the plot. And I'm still fighting with who's the final antagonist, Blackbeard or Emu. I think Blackbeard, I would like it a bit more, considering how much time we've spent with him.
Yeah.
But I do think Luffy versus Emu, it's more symbolic. They both can do whatever they want. They both have those type of powers. And they just have like completely different ideologies. But I don't have any affection or affinity to Emu. Where for Blackbeard, there's some people that genuinely like Blackbeard. I like Blackbeard. You know?
He's fun.
So I think I just like him more, but it's tough. I don't see Emu beating Black. That would be too unsatisfying. If Emu just takes out Blackbeard, no way.
Funny enough, I mean, you know, people don't like it when I bring up Naruto, but dude, it could be a Naruto type of situation where Blackbeard and Luffy work together as members of the D clan to take down Emu, and then after that, they turn on each other, right? Yeah, maybe it's like that. And funny enough, you know, we looked at Blackbeard's crew a couple of times, and we both know they're kind of ass, bro. Like, you know, the Shiryu fight, like, that's gonna be good, but, I mean, it really feels like Zoro outscales them. I mean, who the hell is Sanji gonna fight? Like, take Kuzan out of there. Who is Sanji legitimately gonna fight that's gonna be like high extreme diff? Like, I don't know, man. Like Burgess, maybe, but Sabo just one-shot him. So what if Blackbeard does get Emu's powers and he Domi reverses all of his boys?
It's funny. I was just thinking about Blackbeard's crew, and I'm like, damn, did Oda not cook with any of these characters? Like, in general, like this group of characters. I guess the design that people like the most is probably
Vasco Shot.
Vasco Shot? No.
Design wise, I think I do lean more towards this Vasco Shot. I think he's pretty fun.
I think what's his name? Usopp's.
Van Augur.
I think Van Augur is probably the one that, you know, people probably like a lot. Vasco is cool.
Doc Q is cool too with the horse.
It's just, he just has like a band of misfits, which is intentional, right? It's not.
Yeah, they're like the Straw Hats, but evil.
But other than the Straw Hats, Warlords, like the big ones, the Straw Hats, Warlords, Yonko, Admirals, like what's the best group where like even the Yonko crews, like with designs?
The best designs all around?
Just all around designs and personalities, where it's just like,
I mean,
Grand Fleet.
I don't want this to be like a recency bias kind of thing, but I really do think the Holy Knights so far have been 4 for 4. In terms of personality and designs, I do like the Holy Knights a lot. Other than them, I'd say maybe just some of the Marines, like certain like handfuls of them. But it's hard because like Marines are large. There's a lot of them.
I'm trying to think would I put the Holy Knights over like the Toby Ropo?
Oh yeah. I mean, and the thing is, it's tough to like gauge the Holy Knights because we only have 4 out of like maybe 10.
Actually, you're right, because if you include
they're doing
Shamrock
good. And Garling, include Garling in there too.
Garling's cheating a little bit, but I get you.
He's the Supreme Commander still. You know, he has that title. The only thing, though, we do not include the Holy Knights from God Valley, because boy, oh boy, that anime episode, dude, that anime episode where we got some of the colors for those boys, oh my god, the
colorways were not fantastic.
Oh, brother. The guy with the purple bowl cut, my god.
I would say, okay, the Holy Knights so far, so good.
Yeah.
Shamrock is, if you include Shamrock and Garling, that's basically a cheat code because you have like, you know, Shanks' dad and his brother. I mean, come on. Sam is really cool. Gunko's really cool. Killingham is like, I would say probably the only weak link.
I mean, we need
so
Killingham's hybrid form, or like a human form before we can like really say anything.
So we'll see. But I guess like that's like a big faction, but it's a great one. It's a great one. I think when I think about designs, I think about Law's crew. There's not much to go off of there.
They're just wearing jumpsuits. Okay, I was about to say, I thought you were gonna pick Law's crew. I was like, no way.
No
way.
Even Kid's crew. I mean, Killer's dope. Killer's cool, but Heat and Wire looks stupid.
I'm not gonna lie. When I this was me as like a kid, right? You know, still reading One Piece weekly. When we got Kid and his crew, I didn't like Killer's design. I liked Heat and Wire more. I was more excited for those boys. I mean, nowadays, of course, that opinion's kind of changed.
You're talking about back in the day, dude. The polka dot shirt and the. You were feeling Heat and Wire over that,
dude. Heat and Wire, yeah, man. Like we had this weird, like rock star zombie-looking guy. We had this weird Egyptian scarab-looking dude. I really liked Heat and Wire, man. I was really hoping they'd show out at Onigashima, but it never happened. And then I was like, oh, maybe they're going to show out against Shanks and his crew. You know, remember when we were doing the whole thing where we were matching up the Kid Pirates versus the Red Hairs?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, we were like, oh, yeah, Killer's going to go against Ben Beckman. You know, we're going to have Heat versus Lucky Roo. Yasop versus Wire. Never happened,
I thought Killer was cool. Man. I thought Killer was really cool. The mask, the weapons, it was different. How he moved. The fact that he was also a supernova. You know, it was a lot going for Killer. Do you think Killer's lived up to the hype?
Not really. I mean, you know, day one, I feel like everybody had the same impression of Killer when you first started watching One Piece or reading One Piece. But when you first saw Killer and Kid, I think the correct takeaway is to assume that they are going to be equal, if not stronger, than Luffy and Zoro. Their bounties were higher.
Right.
You know, like we learned that they were more dastardly even, apparently, right? I think that's what Shockey said. Like, oh, yeah, like these guys are making a name for themselves. Like, these guys are brutal. And
they kill people.
That was the impression we had, right? But, you know, as time went on, we realized that Kid and Killer are not those guys. They're still strong, right? They're still like top 30, right? But they're just not Luffy and Zoro.
The worst thing that possibly happened was Kamazo the Manslayer versus Zoro. And it was a good fight, but you know, Zoro, even without having his weapons, for the most part.
Hey, Killer didn't have his weapons either, man. He didn't have his stupid machine knives.
Yeah, but Zoro destroyed him, bro. I think in general, and I mean, Killer wasn't in his right mind.
Wait, does Killer even have hockey? Give me a minute. Does he have hockey?
I believe it's confirmed he has armament.
It's confirmed he has armament hockey. Is that all he has?
I remember armament in his Vivid card. I don't remember. Observation is like something that Oda gives all these characters as well, but it doesn't get used. So it's like, you know.
Yeah, he has armament and observation. Okay, he's just never displayed it. Kind of like his captain.
One of those things. Yeah, it's just one of those things that like, yeah, of course he has it, man. It's like, okay.
When does he use it? I don't know. He's just never really thought about it. It's like Jimbe, right?
Yeah, it's observation is just inconsistent in general. So it's just like, it is what it is. Yeah, I would say he hasn't lived up to the hype. No, considering what we expected from them. I mean, it's like, but to be fair, part of it is because of him being tied to Kid, and it's just Oda has put a ceiling and a cap on Kid's ceiling, and obviously it'd be the same for Killer, because Killer had a moment where that stock was high, man. The rooftop, man.
Do you remember the supersonic scythe? Oh my god,
that
was kind of cool.
Booming.
That was kind of cool.
I think even with Killer's abilities, he has abilities that Oda could really, really use in a way for him to dominate, like sound, right? And if he happened to just give him a devil fruit, I mean, it'd have been crazy. But it's just Oda has certain expectations for the Kid Pirates. It's not crazy. So
yeah, you know, Killer hype is it's very reminiscent of Naruto's Sound Village hype. Remember that?
Oh,
Like the village
village.
hidden the sound? Yeah. And then they showed up at the tuning exams and they were kind of cooking people.
They're kind of cooking for a
They
while.
were using sound waves. And then after that, you forgot all about them. They just never existed after that. They're done. That's like killer, man. Like he came in, you expect a lot. He shows out every now and then he's just there, man.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because he was one of my favorite Supernovas. Obviously, after like Luffy, Zoro, Luffy, Zoro, Law.
Oh my god.
You know, he could be like, Sanji's not a Supernova. That
was good. Wow, you sound like Soldier Boy.
People hate that. People hate when you mention Sanji as a supernova. It triggers people. So like I think the last time I did I think just re-ranking the supernova 10 years later, and I put with Sanji. People hated that so much.
I mean, Sanji, like unironically, he would rank really high. Like if you thought about all the supernova right now, Sanji would top 5?
He's top 5.
He's top 5.
Wait, hold on.
Who's above Sanji? Hawkins is not above Sanji. Drake is not above Sanji.
Okay, so it's
Bonnie's
Luffy,
not above Sanji.
Luffy, Zoro, Law, Kid.
Yeah, and then Sanji be somewhere in there. Boom,
Bonnie.
Sanji in the top 5. Bonnie's not beating Sanji. Okay, if Bonnie were a guy, hear me out. If Bonnie just changed genders for a little bit so that Sanji could fight him, then yeah, like Sanji would win. He would not lose. I like how we're not even talking about any of the other supernova, by the way. No Arouge, no
Arouge is
no
a dark
Hawkins,
horse because
no
he's going to be last.
Capone.
No, the others don't matter. Arouge is a dark horse because we haven't seen him yet. He could possibly, but I doubt it. I doubt Arouge would be stronger than Sanji. I doubt it. But also, I don't think that's a good matchup for Arouge because based on his abilities, he has to take damage to get stronger. And so, I don't know. Sanji with Syv and Jimbe, that could do a lot of damage. I don't know if he can convert like heat damage into power. It's like straight up physical damage. So like,
and then there's the whole thing where like, Arouge, the more tankier he gets, right? Like the more hits he takes in, the bigger he gets. At some point, it's just going to be hard to hit Sanji because Sanji's just zipping around.
You just turn into just like target practice. So I got Sanji over Arouge.
Yeah, easy.
Until like Arouge comes back and he's like a broken. I just hate characters that turn bigger, man. It's
so silly. It's a lot of animes do it, but I mean those characters, I feel like they've been getting cooked more and more. And funny enough, think about Hawkins. He also has a form where he gets bigger, but I think Sanji would just destroy it, right? Because he's all straw. Sanji would just set it ablaze. Hawkins would stand no chance against Sanji. That's like a bad matchup, if anything. And then he shoots nails, and Sanji's like, he's got the Germa thing where he's like metal now. Like that wouldn't even work.
Hawkins is like a tricky one because I think Hawkins it's about setup more than anything. Like he'd have to because all Hawkins has to do is like put a girl in jeopardy. Like if he hits Hawkins, he's hitting a girl. Come on.
Okay, how about this? Like you put them in a locked room, like nobody else is there.
Nah, man, you got to be on Savodi.
Hawkins gotta be with the masses.
Because that would like break Sanji, bro. Like if he kicks Hawkins and like a girl started screaming in pain, and he's like, yeah, he kicked a girl.
He'd have to call up Zoro. Hey, I'm gonna need you to kill me afterwards, man.
I can't do it, man. I can't do it.
I'm changing.
So that's actually a bad matchup for Sanji if Hawkins like knows like him and his history and stuff like that, but. In general, Sanji's stronger than most of those guys. Like, easily, in my opinion.
Yeah, easily.
Though the closest one is Killer. Like, Killer's would probably be 6 right now for me. But I can't see him beating Sanji.
Yeah, just going off of the feats we have on paper, like, I just can't see it either.
You know how insane that is? That out of all the Supernova, Luffy has his 2 subordinates in the top 5. Jeez.
Yeah.
And some people might even put, like, Sanji over Kid.
Yeah, I've seen it. It happens, man.
Yeah. So, yeah, the Straw Hats are just absolutely broken as a unit. And
I mean, it makes sense, right? Future Pirate King crew. Gotta be broken.
Yeah, for what they have to accomplish, they have to be like a notch above everybody else, seemingly.
Yeah.
And it's probably like if they're going up against things like Emu, yeah, you gotta be formidable.
We talked about Domi Reversi and Emu turning them into demons. So what about the Reversi now? The Reversi of the Reversi. Do you think Luffy will have an ability that turns them into white variants? Because Emu flipped him into like their black side. But will there be like white sun god variants of certain characters? Maybe like the Grand Fleet. Maybe even like other characters that we really know and love, like, you know, Koby, for example. You know, Koby, we amplified the justice in him. Or what about like Bellamy, you know? a reformed madman.
Amplifying the justice in him is funny. So you talking about like a chakra cloak? Like what?
Yeah, I wanted to describe the chakra cloak, but without saying chakra cloak. But you know, a lot of Naruto references flying here and there. It's because I'm rewatching Naruto in bits and pieces right now, and I'm at the fourth Ninja War, and brother, the way Madara glazes Hashirama is still so crazy, dude. He was I got to the scene. He was looking at the 5 Kage, and he's like, you know, compared to you guys, like Hashirama was a god. Like I was looking up to that guy, wanted to fight him. People dreamed of dying in battle against him. You guys are mere ants compared to that battlefield.
I saw some comments that talked about our Hashirama takes. And there's some Hashirama stands. It's like, yeah, he was reanimated. He wasn't brought back to life like Madara. Madara used his cells. He used his cells. I was like, sure, buddy. He's not as saucy as Madara. I'm sorry. What I saw, I didn't see it. I don't see the hype. I get it. Hashirama. Ooh. Team Madara, baby.
It's just because we didn't see like the full-on animated, you know, fight from their prime. Like we only saw like post Edo Tensei Hashirama. We needed to see like a full-length prime Hashirama fight to really call him the GOAT.
I'm surprised that hasn't happened yet. Like a prequel movie?
I feel like that's so easy. Like the material's right there. They know what they got to do.
Huh.
I'm telling you, like a lot of these animes, man, they could just print money, but they don't.
Because they always go back to the same IPs over and over and over. Why not do the things that people want? Like a Naruto movie prequel with Hashirama and Madara that'd be insane.
Yeah, or I mean, like do more One Piece movies even, right? Like I get it, right? We got like one team working on it, but I mean, with all the money Film Red made, dude, I put like 5 different teams on 5 different movies at once. Overloaded before One Piece is gone.
I'll be surprised if we didn't get an announcement this year about a One Piece movie.
I think somebody looked into the financials for Toei, and there's 2 major movies that are supposed to release in the next fiscal year, and people are guessing that it's going to be Dragon Ball and One Piece.
Dragon Ball and One Piece.
yeah, that's like the go-to. That's all they got.
Possibly, but to answer your question, who the Reversi to Reversi, Luffy using the Gear 5. I know I was talking to Randy Troy. It was either Randy Troy or Hidden Island. I think it's Randy, who he thought like all the Straw Hats would be able to use Gear 5.
Yeah.
At some point.
I agree.
Oh, God, I would hate that so much.
It's going to happen, man. I mean, if Luffy has the power to buff his allies, I feel like the Strats are going to be the first people he gives it to.
So how do they get the form? They got to dance like Kuma's dad? Dun, 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 dun,
I don't think they have to dance like that. I think they will, but I think Luffy's simply gonna like take a piece of his fire and throw it at him. Kind of like
that's a challenge. That's
like old school Japanese mythos, right? You purify people by throwing salt or fire on them. I think Luffy's gonna do that. That's how he buffs his allies.
Like spit on them.
Oh no! Okay, if Luffy powers them up, I hope it's not by spitting fire at them. I hope it's like just like a baseball or something.
Maybe. I think they probably just have to dance together.
They dance together and they just get powered up. You said you'd hate that though, right? Like if they all had rubber powers or god powers.
I'd hate it if they all had Gear 5. It just feels super gimmicky and just it would take away from what the others do already. Like the only way you can be strong is through Luffy's power. Like Luffy's the god. No. I want them to figure it out on their own. Like we don't need Gear 5 Chopper. Like what?
Gear 5 Zoro. Is Zoro even a swordsman anymore because he's rubbery? I don't know.
No, I don't need that.
Jimbe Jimbe can finally relearn hockey after going Gear 5th.
Finally be useful again.
Yeah.
I don't want to pile on to Jimbe. He's already fat. I'm playing.
That's crazy.
I'm playing. I like fat Jimbe. But I'd say that it's just the expectations are high. We love Jimbe. We love Jimbe a lot. It's just we know he can do so much more. And ultimately it's up to Oda to utilize him. So Oda do better.
So outside of the Straw Hats going Gear 5, if you had to pick a couple of people, who would it be? Because, unironically, I think I would pick Bellamy.
How about you on Bellamy?
I like Bellamy, dude. You know, Bellamy, I have a thing about people who've been reformed. He's a changed man.
Got beat into submission.
No. I mean, the beating was one thing, and then he had whole realization about Doflamingo, about how he didn't want to be that guy anymore. He went up to Sky Island. He realized that dreams exist, and these places, these fairy tales are real. I feel like he's really changed for the better. Even right now, he's not even a pirate. The guy's on an island making maps, bro. Or not maps. He's making flags. Dude, bring him back for the final war. Bellamy with Gear 5th powers. Ooh.
Yo.
That'd be crazy.
His ass whooped so bad he started making flags for pirates. That is crazy. And I like Bellamy too, for the reasons you mentioned. I just think it's hilarious that he's like, I'm done with piracy. I'm gonna make pirate flags.
You know what? Think about it like this. If One Piece had a Naruto moment where Naruto and Sasuke were down for the count, they're about to die, and then one character showed up to save them in their final moments. For Sasuke, I forgot who it was. Was it Orochimaru? I think it was Orochimaru. And then for Naruto, It was Sakura? But yeah, you remember the chapter, though, where they were both on the verge of death, and they just needed somebody to come in for 1 second. I unironically think Bellamy could be that guy, dude. Luffy's about to lose. Emu's just overhead. Blackbeard's about to land the killing blow. And then you can close your eyes for this one. You can already hear it. You can imagine it. You hear Spring Hoppa! And then you get the boing, boing, boing sound effect everywhere. And it's Bellamy. Bellamy coming in and saving Luffy. And then he drops the line, Mugiwara! Oh, you can't lose here. The man who beat me can't go down like this. What about Emerald City, Luffy? The One Piece. You've shown me Sky Island, now show me the One Piece.
You talking about Bellamy's doing this?
Yeah, and then there we go. You know how Emu, he was on Elbaf and he was saying Dory the red ogre, or whatever colors they are, right? He was dropping the epithets, bro. Imagine Emu dropping Bellamy's epithet in the final war. Oh, Bellamy, the mad dashing spring hyena. He's back in action.
Wait, is that his epithet?
I think it's just the hyena.
I was like, I know the hyena, the mad dashing spring hyena. What is this? When did he earn this?
You got to think about post time skip epithets, bro. Oh, dude, wait. What? Bellamy has a couple of nicknames. So, obviously, Bellamy the hyena. But get this, post time skip, he was known as the deadly bullet of Dressrosa. Bro.
Nobody ever called him that.
No, it's right there. I think it was in the Coliseum.
Nobody ever called this guy that.
He was also known as the big time rookie. Chapter 233, big time rookie. And then chapter 706 for the deadly bullet.
Chapter 706.
Yeah, chapter 706. It's definitely gonna be Gats who drops that name. Announcing B block. Here's Bellamy, the deadly bullet of Dressrosa.
Chapter 706.
I just got it. I mean, since Dressrosa's done and over with, he could be the deadly bullet of the sun god. So Gat says, since then, he has served by crushing and subjugating towns of those who denigrated us as the kingdom of a savage pirate. The deadly bullet of Dressrosa. His Majesty offered him a second chance. And then, oh, this is where we first see Bellamy again. Oh.
There's one more competitor, the polar opposite, a great admirer of our king. This man's poor fealty. Damn, so everybody know he failed.
I mean, who doesn't love like a fallen angel? This guy's, Bellamy might as well damn near be Lucifer.
So Bellamy was going around crushing other towns or subjugating towns in the name of Doflamingo for Dressrosa.
Yeah, he was Dofi's hitman, bro. And he wasn't even a part of the crew yet, bro.
And he walks up on Luffy like, hey, do you think I'm blind? You can try to disguise yourself, but I don't easily forget the face of the man who derailed my career.
Oh, he forgot Bellamy's name. Luffy calls him Malo. He says Malo, and then Bellamy's like, no, Bellamy. He's like, yeah, Bellamy, what are you doing here? And then Bellamy says, did you think I lived in Jaya? I can go where I want. I love that.
And he starts going off about Doflamingo being a hero to him.
Yeah, and then he talks about Skypiea. And then he says, I don't hold anything against you. If I want to make it over the huge wave coming, I need a spot on Doflamingo's ship. I ain't gonna laugh at you anymore. And then he goes out, throws up his arms, and just says, Bellamy the hyena, bro. Dude, Bellamy's cool. He's that guy, man. He's that guy.
He's fine. He's fine. He's a great character. I'd say that. But a very confused soul.
Who isn't confused, brother? Who isn't lost, in their 20s? Bellamy's just one of them, right? Like, he needed to find the light.
To reread. I've reread Dressrosa in a while.
So, you didn't answer, though, but like, I picked Bellamy, but who would you want to get reversied by Luffy? Any character, not of the Straw Hats.
Oh, Luffy. By Luffy.
Yeah, by Luffy. You can even pick your boy Cat.
Hell no.
You don't want Cat to be gear fit.
No. No, because then he'd be stronger than Luffy. Somebody to be reverse seed. Screw it. Rob Lucci.
No, you're joking, man. You don't want Rob Lucci like that, man.
What's wrong with Rob?
It's like
Rob
your argument for Cat, man. If Rob Lucci gets gear fifth, I mean, I think he's stronger than Luffy, man.
Okay, let's slow down here.
Whoa, yeah. It says Cat will be stronger. Yeah, sure. No, like
that is a different beast.
It's funny because it kind of goes back to what you said about the Straw Hats, and I think you feel the same way about Cat, right? Like if they all get gear fifth power-ups, that kind of takes away from who they are.
Yeah, it takes it from them.
Like imagine Katakuri being like, oh, like you punched me, well I'm rubber now. I'm just gonna stretch.
Yeah, and then he has on a fedora. Like
yeah, and then Rob Lucci's like, oh, it's stretching time, and then he just attacks somebody with a Gumu Gumu no pistol. Like that just feels a little bit too
Koby
weird.
Then Koby works.
Oh, you're picking the safe answer, Koby?
Yeah, because it's like I can see him embracing it,
Yeah.
Like Bellamy at this point, I can see him embracing it. Like for Rob Lucci, he would hate it. Katakuri would hate it. It just I hate the idea so much. It's like Gear 5 being spread out.
What about
getting gifts from Oprah?
How about like if Luffy does it, they don't get rubber powers. They just get like the bouncy effect if they get hit.
Oh,
like
Jesus.
You know how like Emu turned them immortal, like the demons? What if Luffy just makes it to where they're like zany whenever they get hit?
They all get Toon Force?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's just as bad, huh? That's just as bad. Ooh. Yeah, the more I think about everybody getting gear fifth, the more I'm like,
it's a bad idea.
Do I like this idea? I mean, the thing is, you can see it happening though, right?
You can, and that's the bad part. Like
yeah,
it would just completely just. It'd be horrendous for the final war if we just got a bunch of loony, wacky fights just going on the entire time.
Like, imagine we finally get the dream matchup, right? Your boy Cat versus, let's say he fights Garling. I don't know why. I don't think it's going to happen. But let's say you hear that Katakuri versus Garling is about to happen. You see Garling transform. He's in a demon form. And then you see Cat. You just see his shoes in the last panel. And then you're like over here speculating. You know, knowing you have like 5 videos about, oh, how Katakuri's going to glow up and fight good old Shamrock and Garling 2v1. And then you get to that chapter next week, and then Katakuri just says, it's stretching time. And he just starts using Gear Fin.
I'd be so disappointed. I'd stop liking him as a character. And what if he has sandals on that he made out of mochi?
Yeah. He hits him with the sandals. You know, Katakuri uses his ultimate attack, Red Hawk.
Gomu Gomu?
Yeah. Katakuri has a brand new moveset, bro.
No, I wouldn't like it. I would hate it very, very much. So I with his Gear 5.
He has a straw hat on.
I do think he's going to have the fedora on that Luffy left on his face. He gonna remember he had like his weapon inside of him? He's going to pull the hat out too.
Yeah.
I was saving this for a day like this. Jesus. Now,
He turns Shamrock and Garling into pizza.
You turn them into donuts.
Oh, yeah, he turned him into donuts and just eats them. Oh, yeah, there we go, man. Dream Cat matchup.
Oh, just leave Cat at home. Leave him at Whole Cake Island. If you're going to bring him to the final war to do some shit like this, please don't do it. Leave him at home, please. That's crazy.
And then instead of saying anything to protect my family, he says anything to protect my Nakama.
I do this in the name of Monkey D. Luffy. Monkey D.
Oh my god.
I'm done. It's over with for him.
That'd be so funny, dude.
So, Katakuri, stay at home. Stay at Whole Cake Island. But yeah, I agree. There's gonna have to be something that can turn the people back, because Oda taking a risk on like not just the rotund one, right? It's also on like both of them and his subordinates. So it's just like it's too much.
And he's just getting started, right? Like Emu can do this to a lot of people. Like, you know, I was joking about Charlos, but he could turn all the celestial dragons who are bums into demons. He could turn the Marines into demons. Any nation that works under Emu could turn into demons. Like,
here's the tough part, though.
It's crazy.
The arc, this entire moment, then loses some stakes if he turns a Straw Hat into a demon.
Why do you say that?
Because you know it's going to get reversed. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like if Usopp turns into a demon, or Robin, or Jimbe, you're like,
Yeah, but we kind of expect there to be a reversal, though.
Kinda.
Like we're already talking about like how they're gonna get turned back, so it wouldn't be like a surprise.
We're saying that, but I'm hoping that they just die, right, and they can't get reversed. But if a straw hat gets turned, you know that for a fact they get reversed. For a fact. So, you know.
Yeah.
I hope no straw hats get turned, because then I think it just ruins the suspense.
There was a you know how like One Piece has a bunch of spin-off mangas and like chapters and stuff? There was actually a spin-off one where the Straw Hats turned into demons and monsters. Half the crew did, and then the other half were heroes. So you know, I like bringing this up every now and then because I think it's a nice little fun fact. But on the hero side, it was Luffy, Zoro, Robin, and Usopp.
Yeah.
And then everybody else were demons. Frankie got turned into a golem. Nami was the demon priest. Brook was a demon king. Sanji was a slime monster. And Chopper was like a mini devil. I'm not saying that's like exactly what's going to happen here. But Oda has played with the idea of like, you know, evil Straw Hats, like monster Straw Hats. And then good Straw Hats.
That's a nice little thing. I don't hate that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, here I'll send you the image too, just so you. There you go. There's that one, and there's that one. And if you guys are watching the video right now, you're like, Sai, why aren't you putting the images in here? But I'll put them in there actually.
That's interesting. I think something I'm gonna do a deep dive on is like magic in One Piece, and it's been mentioned all these different things because it's like it's obviously gonna be prevalent going forward. And we did see like where Brook was sent, there was summonings happening, etc. So I wonder, like, if we get some. I know Basil Hawkins is dead, but no.
We need some magic, brother. Teach us the ways.
Yeah.
But with that being said, though, Brago, thank you for joining me on today's video. I really appreciate it as per usual. And guys, you know where to check out Brago. All of his links will be down below, all of his channels, and all that good stuff. Brago, do you got anything to say?
Yeah. I'm watching Dragon Ball Z.
Oh.
And it's a lot of things that Dragon Ball Z does that, like, you see in One Piece eventually. Like, remember when Big Mom and Kaido were fighting against Zoro?
Yeah.
And Big Mom tells Kaido to dodge and must slash.
Oh, it's like a Vegeta and Nappa.
Right.
Yeah.
And the destructo
dodge
disc.
it.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit. Like,
I know exactly where you're going.
There's so many tropes in Dragon Ball that I'm seeing. I'm just like,
and it kind of in the same light, right? Like Zoro ended up cutting off one of the horns of Onigashima, and then Krillin ended up cutting a boulder in half, or like a mountain or something.
Yeah, cut like a mountain in half. And I was like, wow, like Dragon Ball is probably the GOAT. But random, but something I saw that made me think of One Piece.
I mean, Imu's kind of like Majin Buu, right? In a weird sense, like over here possessing people, taking over them.
Taking over bodies, yeah.
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 Huh.
Hey, man, shout out to Dragon Ball and shout out to Dragon Ball, the Dragon Ball franchise.
Z.
You know?
Yeah. Not Daima, but Z.
Not Daima. It had some fun episodes. Like, how many episodes? It was like 20 episodes?
It was 20 episodes.
It was 20?
I only liked, I think, 3 out of 20.
I think 3 out of 20 were like great episodes.
Yeah.
We had some good episodes. I know you really liked the giant one, the one with the giant kids.
That's
stuff.
you. You like the giant
really
one,
like
don't
that
even.
one?
You know, for somebody who hates giants like you, I'm surprised you like that episode.
That's why I don't hate giants.
Dude, you're over here like, I don't know who these giants are. Is that Dory? Is that Brogy? Who's that guy over there? You don't know none of these dudes, man.
I know.
Right now,
Gerd.
Right now, could you list all of Hardin's crew?
I don't know one guy.
Who?
Stanson,
yeah. That's it.
No, Goldberg.
Okay, Stanson, Gerd, Goldberg. One more.
Faust. I don't know.
No, Road.
Oh, yeah. He was part of the crew. I didn't even think about him.
Yeah, he was part of the crew.
Yeah, I didn't consider him. Yeah. I don't hate it. I guess I hate One Piece giants, I guess.
No, I'm the same way. I don't like giants either, but just because I don't like giants as a whole doesn't mean I advocate against them. I still want them to do good stuff, you know?
Yeah, I want them to be good. It's hard. It's very hard in anime unless you bring everybody up to the same size or shrink the giant down for it to be exciting.
Yeah.
When it comes to, combat, etc. And I felt like in Dragon Ball Daima, how they use the giants was just like, it was just funny more than anything. So I didn't mind the episode. But yeah, 3 out of 20 episodes of Daima was probably great. Everything else was.
And those episodes were like the last 3 episodes. I think 2 of them were.
2 of them were, because the early Goku versus the
Tamagamis.
Tamagamis when he went Super Saiyan. I forgot what he did, but that was really well done animation wise. I think the first one he fought, that was really well done. So yeah, like 3 out of 20, that was like pretty great. But I'll take it.
I'll take it.
Yeah, good season.
But with that being said, thank you guys for watching all the way until the end, as per usual. And me and Brago will catch you guys next week when the next chapter of One Piece comes out. Peace out, guys.
Peace.